Welcome back to the Tea in PT, hosted today by Joe, Jay and Ethan. Say hello guys.
What's up?
What are we saying?
How you doing? How you doing? So today we're talking about gym stereotypes, how we are sort of put in a box before we even step foot in the gym and how that can make us feel. Jay, do you want to start us off? You want to talk us through the stereotypes that you've experienced for yourself and the things you've thought about other people?
Yeah, straight away. So when we say gym stereotypes, guys, we don't mean the negative stereotypes. We mean the more positive ones. Well, at the time you think it's positive. Like the biggest guy in the gym, technically, should be able to lift the most. But there's been times where you've seen it yourself, some of the massive guys, we like to use medium weight. We don't have to rep it out like crazy. That's a stereotype. After you, bro.
Yeah, mine would be this. I love this like this one because I just take it as a plus now.
Yeah, it's almost like a compliment, isn't it?
There's little man syndrome.
Yeah.
Oh look, he's little, so it's easier to pack on size. You're absolutely right. I love it because I'm dead so. Because it's the stereotype would be if you're shorter, it's easier to put on muscle because it's just more compact. Versus if you're taller, you've got more of a the muscles need to be fuller, need to be longer, like harder to put on. And you're absolutely right, and I love it.
Yeah. Whereas realistically, it's like, you know, it's the same amount of muscle someone taller would be putting on, but it's just spread over a smaller surface area, so it looks way more significant. You know, you can have that bulky, rounded effect way faster than, say, someone of Jay's height who has to take years to
catch up to me.
Yeah, to catch up. Yeah, I'm still working on it.
Right now, that's literally the game plan. You're like miles ahead.
Literally.
But one of the things I do want to jump in for as well, I know you say little man syndrome and stuff like that, because the normal stereotype is because someone's a little bit shorter than someone else, the weight has less room to travel, but it doesn't take away from the effort. This is what people seem to fail to realise. Yeah. Just because Ethan has a shorter distance than myself on a bench press doesn't take away from the weight. It's fucking heavy.
Yeah.
Like whether you got long length muscles, short fibre muscles, anything else like that.
Still got to lift it.
100 kilos is 100 kilos.
Yeah, there's no denying that. Just because you've got a shorter range of movement, yeah, don't get me wrong, theoretically, the shorter range of movement is a little bit easier. But the load, the bearing on the joints, the muscles, the tendons, exactly the same.
Yeah.
So you've got the same risk of being injured, and it all boils down to that. So for me, like...
It's a cop-out, isn't it?
Yeah, just having, oh, he's stronger than me because he doesn't have to move it that far. Alright then, mate, you go move the weight the same distance he did then.
Yeah.
No, you ain't going to do it.
Yeah, shorten your range of motion to match his and see how equivalent your strength is.
Yeah, because it never normally works. And we were discussing this about on the power curve.
I'm happy you brought this up.
Yeah, straight away. Let's go on.
Okay, so something that like I find quite competitive in a fun way, amidst the fact that okay, he's smaller, or versus, even if you're bigger, it's just like depending on like what you're lifting. But you can't compare the two like that because let's say me and Jay like right now. Let's say me and him lift 70 kilos each on a bench press. Cool, easy. But because I weigh less, that is harder for me. Like that's already what it doesn't seem a lot. It is when what you're lifting is more than your body weight to begin with. I weigh 65 now. I've hit my cut, so I'm on 65 benching 70. It's still heavy. Jay now does 80, and he's like, "Oh, I've outdone you. You might do 71. I've outdone you now." Yes, mate, but you've had a 20 kilo head start to begin with because you weigh more than I do.
Yeah, proportionately, your number was way more significant.
Right, like pound for strength that way. So I quite find it quite fun that way.
Yeah. For anyone that's watching or listening, how would someone work that out? How do you work out your power curve instead of just going, oh yeah, I can bench 100?
Right, okay, put it this way. Let's pretend Dave walks in, Dave weighs 60 kilo. Dave's really strong today, Dave benches 70 kilo. So you basically put in what you pressed or what you lifted. So you would go 70 divided by your body weight, 60, and then you'd have your percentage of power, you'd have your percentage of perceived power of like based on your body weight. So let's say Dave lifted 60 and he weighs 60, his power curve is at 100%, he's lifting his body weight. If he's now lifting 80 and he weighs 60, he's above, he's 100+%, vice versa. So that's how you work it out. So if the person next to you is like, I lifted more than you, they've had a 30 kilo head start, might still be stronger.
Yeah, pound for pound, and I think it's really nice that you touch on that as well, because I think a lot of people assume that bigger guys and girls are super strong, and they might be lifting some crazy weights, and that's, it's really impressive. It takes just as much work as anyone else to get there, so they should be respected for that. But if you are looking at their weights thinking, oh my god, I could never achieve that, they're so much stronger than I could ever be, well, judge it by your own standards. If they weigh 100 kilos and they're pulling a 200 kilo deadlift, for example, well, that's 200% body weight, so that's 2 times body weight. That's pretty fucking tasty. When I pulled 200 back in April, I was about 84, maybe 85 kilos, something like that. So it was closer to like 2.2, maybe 2.3 times body weight. I'm not sure of the maths off the top of my head. So proportionately, pound for pound, you could argue that in that moment I was stronger. Now, that's not to say that I am stronger than someone who weighs 100 kilos and, does this all the time, but judge yourself by your own situation, because we're all built different. We are all built different. We're all different heights and weights and sizes and whatever else. Just because we're all lifting the same amount of weight doesn't mean we're all the same strength.
Sorry, just jumping on that. I think just because the load of the weight is the same doesn't necessarily mean that the strength that you have is the same. Like strength and power. Like, put it this way, like gymnasts, they are fucking crazy strong.
Unbelievable.
Ridiculous, yeah.
Like, they're holding their partners up, they're holding up the duos up, they're holding one-handed, some of them, like balancing on their head, like.
Yeah, iron crosses and stuff like that. Absolutely
man.
absurd.
So you want to talk about a strength curve? That's a strength curve.
But from a gym goer's perspective, we've all been there. We've been sat, and you see someone load up the 100, 2 plates either side on the bench, and you're looking, and without sounding horrible, but instinctively, you look at the person who's loading it up, going, how many are they going to get? I reckon I get 5.
You make a judgment immediately. Yeah.
And that's based on person's size, stamina, how they load the bar up, how they set up,
how confident they are with it. Because you can tell if someone's nervous about what they're about to do.
Equipment.
Yeah.
Like, okay, like, do they have straps? Do they have wraps? Like, do they have belts? Are they using chalk? Like, all of these little crutches, if you will, do they have them?
But I will throw this out there, and this is my personal opinion, guys, so if you do disagree, whack a comment down. I feel, as I've grown older, I've moved away from straps, lifting, belts, everything else like that. Because for me, if I can't hold the weight physically, I shouldn't be lifting it. I know that for a fact. I've got more chance of being injured. Like, for my deadlift, I can grip 160, 180 quite comfortably with the suicide grip, not a problem. For 200, I needed wraps. So for me, I just wanted to hit it. Hit the 200, then I realised I couldn't hit that if I tried. I'll be honest with you. With no wraps, it wasn't for me. So I took a step back, worked on my grip strength, potentially could do it now. Would I ever attempt to do 200 again? No. I like my back.
Yep. It doesn't serve a purpose to you.
No. It's not it doesn't give me... I'd rather do... What do I like? Lower back. That's a hard one.
Not black balls?
I haven't done them in ages. I haven't really touched my lower back for a while.
Maybe you should. Maybe this is a gap in your training.
Maybe.
You'll
See,
get
guys,
on.
we come with epiphanies. When
You actually should do. You're getting on, wouldn't it?
Difficult to get upstairs in a wheelchair.
Maybe that's why I shouldn't touch my back. I'll do one rack pull and just go fucking dust.
But it's a really good point, how deadlifts aren't really relevant to you, so why would you exert yourself to the point of potential injury? You by your nature, you enjoy bodybuilding, and that was your sort of hyper-focus for a long time. Conversely, I was talking to a guy in the gym not that long ago, literally earlier this week, who told me, because he's quite, naturally he's tall and really quite wide-looking dude, he said it was really intimidating for him at first coming into the gym because there was this perceived level of expectation of him. Like, because he's big, he should already be strong. And that made him uncomfortable in the free weights because he knew he was being looked at and he knew people were making probably silent judgments about what he was lifting.
That's the big thing right there. I will jump in on that.
Sure.
The expectation of the free weights. And ladies, I'm majority talking to you lot at the moment because I had the conversation with clients. Oh, I want to train, but I don't want to go on the free weights.
Yeah. Oh God, every client.
They're a bit intimidating. I'm not comfortable doing it. I'm not doing this. But how will you get comfortable with it if you don't put yourself in that? Right. Some of the tricks I give some of my guys is, look, just walk around the free weights. See how you feel. It does look intimidating, but I can guarantee you the majority of people in the free weights are lovely.
Not only that, but they're there for themselves.
Yeah.
They don't care that you're there.
No.
How often are you just so focused on the mirror? You're not even seeing people walk in front of you.
No, the only time someone catches is if they're in my way as I'm about to sat up from a heavy lift, or if they're a little bit too close doing lap raises.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? That's the only time someone clocks me, or I clock them.
Yeah.
Other than that, we all hyper focus. We want our lifts. We don't really care about what's going on.
Yeah, it pays to be aware of what's going on around you. Obviously, you know that we're still. You have to be reasonable and safe with other people in the gym. It's not your private gym, so you have to be reasonable about the amount of space you're taking up and aware of what space they're taking up.
Yep.
But at the same time, you don't actually have to really focus on them or what they're doing. You just have to know that they are there and how much space you have to work safely.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
No one cares that you're there. They just care that you're not in their way. So don't assume that you are now their focus. Don't give a shit. They're focused on the workout.
Yeah.
How many times have you walked into a free weight section that people have seen you walk in, put their weights down, and just stared at you? Is it fuck? You don't interrupt it. Yeah, of course we do.
You know what I mean? It's just one of those things. 9 times out of 10, I get kicked out of gyms.
Yeah. I can believe that. Yeah.
So yeah, it's just having a laugh and a joke. But to be fair, once you start going into the free weights, you start going to the gym more. You do the normal. You're right. And that's how the training works. Like, I've spotted people, I don't even know their name.
No.
But it's always been there. You're alright, what you lifting today? Oh, can I grab a spot? Yeah, no drama.
Yeah, that's it.
You help each other out.
Yeah, man.
And
I
that's-
want to just touch base on the people that go to the gym to begin with. Because the stereotype that I've had from experience of just like listening to past clients is like, when are you
Back
going to
in the
start?
days?
And it's like, oh, I know. It's like, I shouldn't be in the gym yet because they think you already have to be fit to be able to go to the gym.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
No. It's like, you're going there for that reason.
Where did
to get
everyone
fit.
start?
You can't go, oh, I'm not going to the gym yet, I'm not fit enough. But no.
Yeah.
You're getting the point. It's like, you didn't pass I can't explain it.
It's like having a practice. It's like having a test, like a driving test, but before you're allowed to go to the gym. Oh, you have to be able to run 5k through the park before you're allowed in the gym. No, people go to the gym to start their fitness journey. You know,
It's like expecting someone to get like a top lap on Top Gear and then asking to do their test after.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't. You can't. It doesn't work that way, does it?
yeah. If you're already putting the work in, do you need the gym?
Yeah.
Probably not. Are you that bothered about going to the gym if you're already exercising regularly? Probably not.
Yeah.
This is, for people who are struggling to get in the gym, don't worry about where you are starting, because the whole point is you're starting.
Yeah.
And anyone whose opinion is actually worth anything, who sees you come in, regardless of your shape,
Yeah.
or your size, or your ability, they look at you, they see the work you're putting in, and they fucking yes.
Yeah.
Go on, fucking get it. Go on, you got this, you're going to smash it.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. Admittedly, in my younger days, I used to make much harsher judgments. If someone was out of shape in the gym, I had that typical teenager mentality where I'm watching all these proper bodybuilding influencers and stuff like that, and I'm seeing an overweight or out of shape person in the gym, and I'm thinking, oh, how did you let yourself get like that? Blah blah blah. And that was a really immature and naive way of thinking.
Mm-hmm.
But then as you get older and you get more experienced, then you realise, shit happens to people. Life gets in the fucking way.
Your responsibilities kick in.
Yeah. Life gets in the way, and sometimes you can't prioritize. Sometimes you just don't get to prioritize yourself and your own fitness and your own health and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So check your ego at the door and realize everyone there is putting in effort to better themselves. So it doesn't matter how they look or what their performance is like right now. They're working on it.
Mm.
That deserves respect.
Yeah. I think I want to touch base on another stereotype would be women that are, or anyone, not just women, just anyone that is worried about doing the weights yet because all they have ever done is the classes.
Yes.
So I want to touch base on this. I know we know the answer, but I want these guys to understand what's the benefits of each and why should they not now do the classes, or maybe just reduce the classes and then come to us.
So advantages of classes.
Yeah.
Really easy way to start integrating into a gym community. You can meet people that are there for the exact same reason, doing the exact same thing. It's a generalized workout, so it's not going to be horrendously difficult, or it shouldn't be horrendously difficult. If it's led by a good trainer, they should be modeling it to your ability and allowing you to flex up and down separate from the rest of the class in terms of difficulty.
Yep.
Because some people go to classes all day every day. They love that shit. It's like crack to them. Yeah. Some people go to the same fucking class 5 days a week and they kill it and they go in, they give it the big one, and you probably look over on day one like, that person's a monster.
Yep.
Like, you know, when actually they're just doing the exact same thing over and over again. They're 20 weeks ahead of you. Kind of thing. That's it. Kind of thing. So classes have a ton of benefits. You know, you don't have to worry about your program because you're literally being told what to do at the time, and you can sort of, if you need to, you can blur into the background because no one's looking at you specifically. You've got a trainer looking at 10, 15, 20 people shouting instructions. So it's not all about you, which can be a lot more comfortable for a lot of people.
Because the focus is on you, and I think because it's so. The thing is, and I'll agree on this. Unless we're doing group training, like PTs and stuff, like unless I'm doing like group training, it's like it's not that class isn't meant for you. It's meant for everybody.
Yeah.
It's not meant for you. Listen again. It's not meant for you. It's meant for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
So the point is, it's just meant to be inclusive. For you to, as you said, like meet new people. I just have some fun and just basically just have a bit of a burner. Bit of a calorie burner, but as soon as you hit a trainer and you are working on stuff that's directly for you, so like I talk about this all the time. I've got a client say, okay, so Ethan, I want to do classes still, but you want me to do this plan. So do I just take a day off my plan and do that? I'm like, no, like listen. The only thing I'll admit, in terms of like the environment that you'll be in, I can't compete with that because there isn't 30 of me at the same time.
Yeah.
However, what they can't compete with is the fact that it's specifically to you. So what I would always like say is, do the PT sessions, do your plan, do the stuff that is specific to you first, that is for you. That's why you go to the gym to begin with.
Prioritise
you first.
The focused training. Yeah,
absolutely. Get that bit done first, and then after, if you have the energy, go do the classes as a top-up as part of the cardio part.
Yeah, if you've got the time.
It's just extra burner for the calories, but you've already done the stuff that was meant for you first.
You've done the necessary stuff, the stuff that you're obligated to do to get to your goal.
Yeah.
If you enjoy the class, you know, because some people just enjoy it anyway, it's fun, and you know they probably have gotten talking to people in the class.
Yeah.
You've got the time, you've got the energy. Fuck it, go and join the class as well.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah.
But be aware of how much you are working.
I don't think it should replace.
Yeah, it should never.
In my opinion, I don't think it should replace.
Personally, I think classes are a really, really nice introductory area for people who maybe don't know how to get started and want to feel like part of a group rather than that sort of individual. And if that's all you ever want to do, that's absolutely fine. Some people love that and they'll just progress doing that forever. But if you have more specific goals, if you have these SMART goals that we've spoken about before, you need a more personally tailored workout, and that's where a personal trainer comes in.
And then to jump on that point, basically just to say.
So we have a special guest with us today.
Fuck's sake.
No! What are we saying?
We were warned that we might be joined by someone, so let's introduce. Would you like to introduce yourself, young man, joining our podcast for the day?
Fucking hard day. Just a leg day, boys. Fucking hell, hardest bench I've done in a long time.
But your chest is pumped as crazy, isn't it?
Fuck a duck.
Oh, mate, we love the safety. Safety comes first with the heavy
Do you know what we say? You got to make sure everything's banded. If nothing, let's say, I've just made this drink more anabolic. I've added a band. Before I didn't know how to drink, but now the band's here. I'm like fucking Venom. I can throw this across the room and come back.
I've got to take a minute. I've got to take a minute. Keep going. Yeah.
So introduce yourself. What's your name? Where are you from? What do you do?
So what I'm saying, guys, as some of you might not already know me, if you don't, I'm fucking shocked. I am Chad Chaddington. I am from a beautiful place called Neverlast. It's one of the best places I've ever had the pleasure of working from. And as you can see, I'm a big fan of safety, big fan of bands. Gotta make sure, like, gym stereotypes are a nightmare.
Yeah. So what kind of stereotypes do you encounter in your day-to-day, Chad?
Like, quite a lot. It's oddly enough, I'm quite a peaceful gentleman. No, like, I keep myself to myself. I don't really try and make an impact when I walk in the gym.
You don't like the attention. You like to be in your own.
Yeah, like literally when I'm in the gym, no one really knows I'm there. It's fucking brilliant.
Like a ninja, a gym ninja.
Yeah, I'm like skulking around doing like calisthenics.
Oh yeah.
But the only time you normally hear me is when one of my bands snap.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a bad day.
And you can hear the ping from across the room.
Yeah.
Not comfortable.
And after the ping, the band snaps. So it's never a good thing. But it was nice of you guys to invite me on. Like, you guys are all experts in your field.
Well, absolutely. We value your opinion. You're a very trusted member of the community.
Yeah. So
with tons of experience.
I'll tell you a little bit more about myself, guys. As you know, Chad Chaddington. I've got my personal training degree from the University of Social Media. I'm a big fan of adding bands into workouts. Don't know It's just been something I've been since a little boy. You know when you had those little Jumboland things and you could hang yourself from the door as a kid?
Oh, yeah.
That was my first banded exercise, that was. My mum and dad, motherfuckers, were so proud. When they set me up and I was bobbing away, I think my first words were, more bands.
Anabolic.
Yeah.
Think,
I was on anabolic milk, loads of anabolic clothing. I think, actually, to be fair, my first nappy was a £4 black band.
Nice. Good. So a lot of resistance.
Fucking
those
But I mean, honestly, the amount of times I shit and I thought it was going back up. I didn't know what was going on.
Like a slingshot.
Yeah, that is exactly it. You okay over there? What's up? Mate, I've driven all the way from Neverland. Do you know what I mean?
That's a long old drive.
Fucking next to Neverland. That place is like.
Full of the
I haven't flew here with fucking Tinkerbell. Come on, I got told I was going to be asked questions. It was going to be an invigorating experience where I could broadcast my safety message to the world.
Absolutely, and that's why we invited you on, Chad, because we need your expertise and your experience.
Brilliant.
Ethan, do you have any questions for our esteemed guest, please? Anything?
Nice to meet you.
Pleasure.
I think I would just want to ask, so are you mainly online coach as well, or how does the bands work online?
So, when anyone signs up, so guys, I'll do a little shameless plug here now. Sorry, Jay told me I could do this.
Yeah,
it's alright. So, guys, if you sign up to my online coaching, right, I need to let you know something right now. Every single band I use is sponsored by a vegan. We are vegan friendly, we are vegetarian friendly, and everything I teach you is about the necessity of band work. And if you're lucky, I'll tell you about band width. That's not just the internet either, guys.
Excuse me just a second.
I don't know why they keep needing breaks.
You can't do